Hi, this is a tutorial on how to consume a web service, or in other words, we might call it invoking a remote method. And this is because a web service is basically an object that resides remotely on some machine elsewhere. And then the way you interact with it is you invoke a method from that object. So this just gives a short introduction to how a web service can be consumed. And there are a lot of benefits to using web services. Interacting with software objects that reside remotely is becoming more and more important as the world of computing trends toward distributed computing. When services are made available on the web in the form of web services, it is important to know how to leverage and consume such services, whether they are free or subscription-based services that you are interested in. Some examples of these types of services might be a web service that provides you movie listings and times, or services that are offered by your business partner for the sake of purchase and order processing. This allows software applications to be built by composing services that are available over the web without concerning the platforms and programming languages that the services are built on. So you can reuse any of these web services to do a number of things. So we're going to begin by creating a new project. So go ahead and go up to the File bar and click on New Project. And go ahead and select Java Application and click Next. Now you want to name your project Web Service 101 and make sure that you save it in a good location, for instance C and then your work folder, and then click Finish. Now in order to access a web service, you need to add a web service client to your Web Service 101 project. So you'll want to right click on Web Service 101 and click New Web Service Client. And as you can see, there are a lot of different ways that you can import a web service, but NetBeans and some other software allow you to take a WSDL file as input and generate a collection of classes behind the scene so that you can interact with the web service easily. So go ahead and click on WSDL URL, and in the tutorial that your professor gave you, there is a link out to the WSDL file. So go ahead and copy that. And if we go into that link, you can see the actual original WSDL, and it's basically just an XML document that contains all of the different methods that you can call from this web service. So go ahead and paste that URL into the WSDL URL field and click Finish. And then down here you'll see that there is a new folder called Web Service References. So go ahead and navigate all the way into it until you get to the Weather Forecast SOAP folder. Go ahead and open that up. And then you'll notice that there is a Get Weather by Zip Code and Get Weather by Place Name methods. But we're only going to look at the Get Weather by Zip Code method. So go ahead and click on that and drag it into your main method of your main.java class. It's located up here under your Web Service 101 folder. And you can see that it generates all the code for you. And the only problem is you haven't given it any information and you haven't told it to output any results yet. So we need to do that. So go ahead and put in your zip code. I'm going to put in 61704. And then down here is where you call the Get Weather by Zip Code method and then pass in your zip code. But they've already done that for you. So down here, you'll want to output the minimum temperature and the maximum temperature. So I'm going to write min temp And then after the word result, you'll want to put a period, and then you can see it gives you all of the options that you can choose from. So go ahead and select Get Details. And then put another period and select Get Weather Data. And then one more and select Get. And then go ahead and put 0 as your index to get the first result. And then your final method is called Get Min Temperature in Fahrenheit. So go ahead and select that. And then to output the max temperature, you'll just want to copy this line and paste it underneath and change a few things. So go ahead and change this to max temp. And then everything over here is correct, but when you get to the last method that you're calling, go ahead and change Get Min Temperature to Get Max Temperature F. And then this is pretty much all you have to do before you run the program. So we're going to go up here and click on the little green arrow to run the main project. And go ahead and watch it run down here. And as you can see, we successfully printed out the min temperature, which is 57 degrees Fahrenheit, and the max temperature, which just happens to be 81 degrees Fahrenheit. And this concludes our tutorial on how to consume a web service.